Hi, it's Dana Wilde and welcome to the show. Today I want to talk about feel-good marketing. So here's why. One of the challenges I've had, the more I understand about marketing, the more I get into kind of the online world or just marketing in general, there is this idea that in order to get your client's attention, you need to be able to talk about the pain they're experiencing or the problem they're experiencing. And I don't disagree with that. You know, sometimes what happens is when we have a solution to something, we think that we can talk about the solution and people will go, oh, I get it, I want that. So in my case, if I was going to go up to somebody who is having trouble growing their business, I could say to them, well, you should just think happier thoughts and you'll grow your business. But of course, that sounds crazy, right? When people are having a problem, when they're really grappling with something and they can't figure it out, they don't want to hear like, oh, well, just think happy thoughts, or whatever your solution is for that matter. Let's say you're a money coach and you know the solution that would fix their issues is if they would create a budget. When somebody's grappling with money issues, they can't even think of the solution. Think of the emotional scale we've talked about. When somebody's on the negative end of the emotional scale, they can't hear you when you're over here on the positive end. It's too big of a jump. So how do you get their attention? Well, you have to be able to talk about their quote unquote pain, the problem they're experiencing, and you have to be able to talk about it clearly in a really detailed fashion. The better you can know their problem, the more likely you're going to get their attention. Now, why would that be? Why would it be that if you talk about the problem really clearly, you're going to get their attention? Here's why. Think about this. If I have a problem, chances are I'm thinking about it a lot. I'm obsessing about it. I'm probably thinking about it on automatic pilot, fretting and worrying nonstop about it. So my reticular activating system is looking for solutions to the problem. And so when you know that your client has a problem that you can fix and you can be specific about that problem, then you're going to be able to get their attention because their reticular activating system is going to be working on your behalf. And if you're new to the show, the reticular activating system is the part of the brain that's like a little matchmaker that lives in your head. Whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're talking about, it's looking for solutions for you. It's looking for that thing that you're thinking and talking about. This is why when you look for a new car, you always see that car. So here's your client experiencing a problem, and not just any little problem. It has to be something they would really be obsessing about, you know, that proverbial keeping them awake at night. Your job as a marketer is to describe that problem. Now remember, I called this episode Feel Good Marketing, and so I promised to get into the feel good part here, but I want to start out with the premise that it is important to be able to understand where your client is at and understand the problem they're experiencing. So in my case, I'm usually dealing with people who are trying to build businesses with almost no time. They're very busy. They are maybe needing to get clients. They don't have as many clients as they want. They haven't built as big of a following as they want to. They feel like they're doing everything right. They're taking all this action. They know they're capable. Like, I track smart people. And so they can't figure out why can't they get this thing going, get some traction and get it growing faster and grow that tribe, have more clients, make more money, and still be able to do it in the little bit of time they've got every day. They're time crunch. They're busy people. So I know that about my audience. So it's easy for me to lead and talk about the quote unquote pain or problem they're experiencing. When they're laying awake at night, they're thinking like, maybe this is a pipe dream. Maybe I'm never going to be able to do this. Maybe this is just crazy. And I don't want to talk about the problem too much right now because I don't want to bring you down. So I want to get into it to tell you that you have to think about that for your client. What are they thinking about right now? Are they thinking about, God, I wish I could lose this last 10 pounds, or I'm concerned about my health, or I can't seem to gain any traction with money, or how am I going to put my kids through college? What are they thinking about? Because here's the thing about the problem that nobody talks about. When you can describe the problem really, really clearly, they think you automatically have the solution. So I'm going to tell you a little story about this that I heard from the famous internet marketer, Frank Kern, who's amazing. And I attended a training with him and he told this story. I just saw him actually a couple of months ago and said, I'm telling this story. Are you okay with that? And he's like, oh yeah, he had even forgotten this story, but it's so good. I said, if you're not going to use it, I'm going to use it. So here it is. So Frank went to the gym and he was lifting weights and he had lifted a weight and he must have made a wince on his face, because when he made that wince on his face, a woman who worked for the gym saw him, walked across the room and said, you know, I couldn't help but notice that it seems like when you lift the weights, there's a pain that starts in your toe and it feels like a little lightning rod and it shoots up your leg and then it lands in your hip where it's almost like a throb and takes your breath away a little bit, but then ultimately it moves into your back and settles into your back like a burning hot coal. Is that right? And Frank looked at her and went, oh my gosh, yes. What have you got for me? Now, the woman never said she actually could fix the pain. All she did was describe the pain so clearly that he automatically assumed she could fix it. And that's how it is for your clients too. When you can really get into their head and understand what they're going through and understand what they're feeling, that's when you can help them. And so let's take 1 second to just talk about feel-good marketing. How can you do this in a way to help them understand that you're not there to just bang their problem over the head? What you're there to do, and this is the key, and I think this will be easy for you because you're in this sandbox, is this is about empathy. So this is about saying, you know what, I know you're experiencing this, and I know how you feel. And if you don't personally know how you feel, you can tap into or imagine. And the reason I say I know you'll be good at this is because I attract people who are empathetic. I attract people who are in the personal transformation space. And so when you talk with empathy, it becomes very easy for your client to say, oh my gosh, he or she can not only describe the problem so clearly, but they understand me and they understand who I am. Now, surprise, this is going to be a 2-part show. So next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you go from dealing with your client's pain into feel-good marketing. You know, this was an issue that I really wanted to overcome. I didn't want to be that person who was up there doing this whole, you've got a problem, you've got a problem, you've got a problem thing. It's just yucky and it's a feel bad. I wanted to find a way to make it more of a feel-good situation and still understand how marketing works. And how marketing works is when you speak about somebody's problem, when you speak about the issue they're experiencing, their reticular activating system is working on your behalf and you're attracting more clearly not only the people you want to work with, but the people you can actually help. That's the beauty of it. You're solving a problem you know you can solve and you're getting their attention. All right, sit tight for part 2. We will see you next week with the second half of Feel Good Marketing. In the meantime, no matter what I say about marketing, I want to remind you that mindset matters most. And I know you know that. So keep those mantras flowing, keep those feel-good thoughts going, and we'll see you next week on The Mind Aware.